Alaska. It's a place that seems to go on forever. More than 500,000 square miles of land. So big, if you superimposed it, islands and all, on a map of the lower 48, it would stretch from east coast to west. Yet in all this land, there are only 12,000 miles of public roads. More than 200 towns and villages have no road at all connecting them to the rest of Alaska. When trappers and prospectors and missionaries first came here, they found it a tough place to get around.
It was by boat or by dog team, and this is the only way to travel.
In a land so spread out, so remote, the airplane seemed the perfect answer.
This was the case after the war. Missionaries came up to Alaska, and they figured they had to fly, they had to do something like this. And they weren't exactly trained, they weren't exactly careful. I think they relied upon the Lord to look after them, and many times He did. Sometimes they were fatal. And we figured we needed to have something, bring a little order out of this.
So in 1964, pilot, pastor, and missionary Roald Amundsen and his wife Harriet organized the Missionary Aviation and Repair Center. Its goal? To provide safe, inexpensive travel for pastors and missionaries. At the MARC hangar in Soldotna, a half-hour's flight from Anchorage, MARC mechanics keep every plane in top condition. MARC trains every one of its pilots to deal with the special rigors and dangers of flying in Alaska. Over the years, MARC's mission has grown. It now helps in medical emergencies. It flies young people to Bible camp in the summer. It carries supplies to remote mission stations. And MARC does all of this at very little expense to the people receiving its services. For example, missionaries pay only about half the cost of their flights. How can MARC do this? Everyone who works here is a sort of missionary himself. MARC doesn't pay them.
Each one that comes to MARC comes with his own support and his own church back of him. They're volunteers in respect.
Take Len Wickstrom, for example. He runs MARC's parts department. He set up the computers, he tracks the inventory, and he works in the hangar repairing and maintaining airplanes. He's been here full-time since 1983.
I had a good job in Tacoma. I liked my job. I wasn't dissatisfied, but just felt that the Lord had something for me and decided that, this was the place and that I could serve Him. I feel the job that I'm doing is, to support those that are really out in the front lines and to get them there, because transportation is a real problem in Alaska.
MARC also subsidizes its operation with the profits from its fuel sales, from its parts department, and from the repair services it provides to pilots outside of MARC. Still, MARC needs the prayer and financial support of people in the lower 48, people who can see MARC's key role in ministering to people in even the most remote parts of America's northern frontier.
But really, we haven't any direct ministry, so to speak. And so it's a real thrill for us to get the word back from one of the missionaries, like I got back just recently, where he said, the gospel team we took into Koya, Kaneelam, and White Mountain, a lot of people gave their heart to the Lord and were strengthened because of it.
The Missionary Aviation and Repair Center, giving wings to the gospel to spread the good news faster and farther across Alaska.